I see business people or people wanting to get into business utilize this tool, first it's to assess their personal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Then it's, well, this is the chosen business profession that I want to get into. What are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Then it's, okay, I need to do a separate analysis on the competition. Who's my competitor out there? What are their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats? And by utilizing all three of those, you have a much better handle on putting together a business plan that's going to be successful for you. Because if you recognize early on that you're not a numbers person, and numbers are an important part of this, then you know what? We need to figure out how can we get somebody on your team that's going to be the numbers person. Because anytime you start a business and you want to borrow money, whether it be from your mom or dad, or from the bank, or even from the government, they're going to want to know, so what is your plan? And you're going to write it down, but you also need to say, this is how I'm going to take care of each of these areas, the financial, the marketing, and the technical aspects. And most of you in this room, I would venture to say, probably have the technical aspect of what you're thinking about doing pretty much down pat. That's the reason why you're focused on it. But where you struggle is, some of you have great creative minds, so your marketing is no problem. The financial side is where you're going to struggle, and vice versa. If you're financially, you understand numbers, the marketing side is going to perplex you. So what you need to do is you need to identify those critical resources that are out there, sometimes free of charge, sometimes somebody in your own class who just seems to be able to put those concepts together to kind of help you initially get your business going. So with that, I guess I open it up to questions. No questions?
This is like
so
quiet.
I've either bored you, or we've gone over this so many times that you're now saying, okay, I understand, let's move on to something else.
I'm like shocked. The class is speechless.
Okay,
You said you were from the Mitchell Chamber of Commerce.
I am.
Are you guys looking for any interns for anything?
And if you're not aware of it, the state of South Dakota has a paid internship program. Are you aware of that program?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I can probably get you some information. Actually, I'll get it to Annika so that you can take a look at it. And obviously, there are some opportunities for that. I'm not aware of any, but quite honestly, I'm out of the office most of the time because I cover the communities around Mitchell. So, but great question, Catherine.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the Methodist church that you did this for, have you noticed the hospitality?
Some of those things, because we got together as a group and started talking about them, some of those things just naturally started to happen. We didn't have to create a plan and say, go do that. They just took the initiative and they said, that's a great idea. And they went and did it. Some of the other ones are probably a little bit more involved that are going to take a little bit of time. For instance, training programs. Well, we need to come up with some dollars and find the resource person. Some of that takes some time. So, quite honestly, to answer your question, yes, some of those things have started. Is it fully implemented? No. Does it seem like we'll never get fully implemented? Well, you can visit with Annika. No. I mean, it's always in a state of development. And just as Julie pointed out, I mean, sometimes when you use the SWOT analysis, decisions made, you move on. In some cases, it's just part of the process that you have to use. One of the tools in the toolbox you use in order to get to the next level. So, does that answer your question?
It does. And I have a question for you, Julie. Being from Wyoming in the middle of the oil well field and stuff like that, was that a contributing factor when you did because you could be making a lot more money if you moved to North Dakota with your trucks, you know what I mean?
Have you been to that area of North Dakota? Has anybody in here been to that area?
I'm from there, that's why.
Have you been to that area?
Yeah.
Since?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not quite
then you
the
know.
same. Yeah, but I was just wondering, but 3 years ago it wasn't as bad as it is now.
Right, and that's a good question. Again, our draw for coming to Parkston was our partner lived there, and they have family here. His wife was not going to move anywhere. She just wanted to stay here, raise her kids here, and that was great. So it wasn't necessarily we can make more money.
Okay.
We can work more effectively if Jeff and Ryan, the owners, are together. But we did lease a trailer to Kiewit Construction, who does a lot of building, to go to North Dakota. And for an obscene amount of money. We didn't ask for that amount of money. They said, this is what we're paying right now for a belly dump lease. Take it or leave it. We said, okay, we wish we had more. We'll take it.
Yeah.
And it was gone. It was up there all summer, and my husband had to go get it, and he said, there is no way, and you know what, that I would move there with my family. He said, if we were destitute and I had to go there to work, I would go and hope to come back. But it's a small little area. I can't think of the name of the town, but it's a tiny little town, used to be, and now it is just inundated with thousands and thousands of belly dump trailers and every kind of truck, every kind of person from every type of walk of life. He waited in line to get fuel for an hour and a half, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and that's just how you have to operate there. So that was not really appealing, and we had that same boom that's going on in North Dakota, we had in Wyoming,
Yeah.
and it's still going on in southern Wyoming, but and my husband had lived in Wyoming for a long time since he was a kid, so he had seen, the economy go up and down and follow those, and you kind of know that those things are not going to last forever. And, when it's gone, that's going to go back to a little town of 300 people trying to keep the grocery store open,
Yeah.
So,
Do you find that's too why you're having a hard time finding drivers right now?
yeah, I think so, and I think a
Can't
lot of,
compete.
yeah, well, that, and a lot of people don't, it's kind of changed. They don't want to be gone all the time. And that used to just kind of be part of, what you had to do to work, so.
Okay, no other questions? Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.